3 days of food remained. 50,000 mouths were waiting to be fed. In the colony's storage chambers, the food reserves were nearly empty. And the scout with the scar on its foreleg, the one whose trail once led the colony to bury a trapped intruding spider, had not returned to the nest for 2 nights, leaving no pheromone marker for the others to follow. To understand what had happened, the story had to go back 7 days earlier. The colony had just come through the Great Tunnel Collapse. The tunnels had been repaired, the larvae moved back into place, and order seemed to have returned. But something unusual was quietly unfolding on the surface. The dry season was lasting longer than any year before. The leaves had turned brittle. The familiar prey along the old foraging routes was slowly disappearing. Scouting parties left the nest every morning and returned empty-handed every evening. The food store shrank day by day. In the larval chambers, the young began growing visibly thinner as their rations were cut. The scarred scout followed an old pheromone trail, faint and long unused, leading to a rotting log lying like a natural bridge toward a stretch of land the colony's scent markers had never crossed. Scouts rarely traveled this route alone. A single ant off the main trail loses the safety of numbers, but hunger pulled it forward anyway. It crossed the rotting log, entered unfamiliar territory where the soil was a different red from home, and found the carcass of a giant beetle, enough to feed the colony for days. But the land was not unclaimed. A fire ant patrol picked up the strange scent and began closing in just as the scout finished marking the trail home. A chase unfolded across the red earth under the moonlight, the scout sprinting for the boundary, fire ant mandibles snapping shut on empty air as it crossed back onto neutral ground. The next morning, the first foragers picked up a brand new pheromone trail leading out of the nest. Within minutes, the whole colony had mobilized. They reached the waiting beetle carcass and carried the entire food source home, just as the reserves were about to run out completely. The larvae were fed again. The food stores were replenished. The scarred scout returned to its usual post at the tunnel entrance, indistinguishable now from any other ant on guard. But on the other side of the bridge, a fire ant sentry remained still, antennae fixed on the direction where the strange scent had vanished. The fire ant colony now knew that another kingdom existed nearby.